Throughout the entire Vince McMahon scandal, people have been trying to find who else they can tie to this whole mess, who else within Vince McMahon's inner circle might have been involved, and who else they can take down with Vince McMahon. And when you look to WWE and you look to Vince's inner circle, of course, one of the most prominent names that keeps being brought up in these conversations is Bruce Prichard. Bruce Prichard has historically always been part of Vince McMahon's inner circle, so of course he must have something to do with this as well. Well, Bruce Prichard addressed these rumors on Something To Wrestle this week. This is what he had to say. Check out this clip.
Well, let's talk about the real story that everybody, I don't know why, but everybody thinks you're going to be able to comment about the news that has surrounded WWE in recent weeks. And I want to give you a moment here to say whatever you want to say, and I'll hang up and listen.
Well, first of all, as far as lawsuits and things of that nature, I'm not at liberty to discuss any legal matters with the company whatsoever. So to that, there's nothing that I can say and or do.
Right.
So there can't be a response from a legal standpoint, and you can ask till you're blue in the face, and that's going to be your answer. I'm not involved. I'm not being sued. I'm not accused of anything, and nor, it's a legal matter. And as I said to you, sometimes it is as simple as, for those who believe, no explanation is needed. For those that don't, no explanation will do. And that's kind of where we are, and we'll let the rest of it sit in the hands of the fine legal system that we have here in the United States of America.
Now, of course, that has to be bullshit, right? I mean, Bruce Prichard is Vince McMahon's right-hand man. Even Ronda Rousey came out and said it. If Bruce is there, Vince is still there. He's basically Vince's avatar. Well, as true as that may be, I got to side with Bruce on this one. I don't think Bruce was involved. For those of you who have not watched, and for those of you who have, thank you so much. Got a lot of new subscribers from it. But I did a 2-hour video, a huge 2-hour breakdown going over all of the unnamed names from the 67-page court document and all the people that were involved with the incident but not named, WWE corporate executives and so on. I went through, and based on the evidence within the document and some other stuff that it would have pointed to, I was able to find the names, or at least the most likely names, for each of the unnamed names. All of these corporate officers, WWE employee, superstar, referee, all of it. But one name I did not find in my research, not even close, was Bruce Prichard. He didn't come up. He wasn't there. Bruce Prichard was not a board member. That's going to rule him out for almost all of the names that were mentioned in the document right off the bat. Bruce was not involved. Bruce wasn't a board member. A lot of these corporate officers that were named were board members. Bruce was not. So that rules Bruce out completely right there. Also, of people that were not in the board were, somebody that worked in the legal department, which again was not Bruce Prichard, who works in television production. He's the head of the creative writing team. So at the very least, through my research, the most you could pin on a Bruce Prichard was if you included him in with the television production / tech team, which I did not in my research, because tech team would indicate it's the production truck. It's not just everybody involved on the production side of TV, which is a wide net, right? Everybody that's at TV, the makeup fucking artist, is part of TV production, right? Everybody that's there for TV is part of the camera guys, all of that. But when you're speaking specifically of the TV production team, tech team, as it, it even puts in parentheses within the legal document, that doesn't necessarily speak to creative, in my opinion. The tech team is not the creative writing team. So Bruce is not an executive. He's not a lawyer. He's not in the legal department. He wasn't in the tech team. He's not a wrestler. He's not a referee. Bruce Prichard was not involved in any of this. Now, you could still say, well, blah, 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 blah. You know, if you didn't watch my video, who the fuck am I? Just some guy in my basement yelling at a microphone. Who are you to believe what I've learned, right? Of course, Bruce must be involved. Okay. Or even if you do believe me, maybe you're like, well, maybe he wasn't, you know, one of those people named, but obviously he still has to know because he's in Vince's inner circle. Maybe, I mean, we can all speculate what Vince might, hey, let me tell you what I did. You know what I mean? Like, being close to Vince, you can speculate that maybe he knew something, but he's not in the court documents, I'll tell you that. He's not any of the people named there. So he's far enough removed from this whole scandal and incident where I think we got to get off Bruce's back. I know a lot of people hate Bruce. People don't like him. People want to see him go down for this. Just on principle, just because he's Vince's right-hand man, we want to see him suffer for this. He wasn't involved. There was nothing tying Bruce Prichard to this incident. So, man, I even one of the guys, the legal guy, even if you wanted to make a stretch and say he was one of the guys that was not a board member, right? So you could say, well, it's possibly him. Well, if you don't want to believe me that he wasn't in the legal department, they also said that, you know, the guy's wife died and shit like that earlier. Bruce has been happily married for years. So he's just not the guy, I'm telling you. If you want to watch that full, actually, you know what? I did section it off into clips too. So on the end cap, I'll put the full 2-hour video, but you can also just kind of pick and choose your categories too. If you want to see who just who corporate officer number 1 was, corporate officer 2, whatever. I broke all that down and you can see for yourself. Based on preponderance of evidence, that's the word they like to use in these lawsuit cases and such. Bruce Prichard just wasn't involved. So I know you hate Bruce. I know you want to see Bruce burn. You want to see Bruce go down for this. He just wasn't there. He wasn't there. He wasn't involved with this. Leave Bruce alone. If you liked what you watched, hit that subscribe button down below. Leave me a comment, too. My eyebrow hair is poking out there. Leave me a comment, too, if you disagree with me in any way. If you think Bruce absolutely has to be involved and you have something to back up your statement other than Ronda Rousey saying that he's, you know, Vince's right-hand man or whatever, his avatar. If you got more than that and you want to lay your claim down in the comments, I'd love to have that conversation with you. And anything else, you know, if you have any other thoughts on the thing, just let me know down there. That's where the conversation happens. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next. Let me tell you something, brother. You can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on this channel, dude. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother.